You hear that? You hear that? You hear that? I hear that. You hear that? You hear that? You hear that? I hear that. That's for you. That's for you. That's for you. I'm a megalomaniac with megaton bombs and megawatt drops. Just mega hip hop. Damaging Richter's like boa constrictor tight. Soldiers with scissors. Nighttime we a killer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show. I'm Rob the Lord Humongous.
And I'm Shawn the Duke Humongous.
And today we are coming to you right after probably one of the most intense UFC fights of all time. We witnessed somebody finally get stopped last night, didn't we, Shawn?
Man, I've probably watched it about 20 to 30 times already.
Oh, that makes...
Just watching her.
Oh, dude, that makes...
watching her get kicked in the face.
Oh, my God, dude. That makes two of us, man. I just was kind of... I only saw the last part. I woke up because, you know, the time difference out here, and they said... I saw all the WhatsApp messages from Andre and everybody. I'm like, is it over? Kind of like the end of The Lord of the Rings. Like, is it over? Is it finally over? And get up and, you know, that whole scene where everybody's jumping on the bed, slow motion. Yeah, it was pretty much my morning. And then I saw the last part of the fight where she catches where she catches that kick right in the throat, falls over, knocked out. And then I was like, shit, well, what happened in the first round? And then she gets, like, taken down in the first round. Like, she got dominated all the way around.
Yeah, got tagged a lot of times. I mean, just did not look prepared for that.
Yeah.
What Holly Holm was.
It's amazing. I was very impressed with how Holly Holm maintained her composure, and then on top of that, beat the dog shit out of her pretty much.
But what have we learned about MMA? Everybody is beatable.
Everybody is beatable. But there are some who, I don't know, man. Like, as much as I dislike John Jones as a person, I think he actually is like the person who is not going to be beaten in the octagon until he's older. It might be like Fedor, where he just got to his age caught up to him and he just gets caught.
Yeah, so now the UFC is going to be looking to bring him back quick because, you know, they'll do a Ronda Rousey rematch here and they'll hype that up, but they're poster person quickly.
I don't know if they're
she got worked.
Oh, she got worked bad, and that's why I don't know if they're going to give her a rematch, because that wasn't even like a, well, you know, Miesha Tate's the only person to ever take Ronda out of the, you know, like out of the first round, and then, you know, they give her, you know, they feed Miesha Tate to her again, and she gets her ass kicked. But now, like, what else is there to do? I mean, Holly Holm, I don't know pretty much if she's run through the competition yet or not, but if it goes anything like last night, I don't think she's gonna have much problems just beating the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, and she was just everywhere in the media, and man, there's a lot of people that were happy to see her in defeat is what I've noticed. You know, I haven't made like a broad statement, and you know, I've been kind of a advocate for her and, you know, the making MMA popular for women.
Yeah, no, you're good. I just opened up the door to get better reception.
Oh, no worries. No, but I've been an advocate for Ronda Rousey of what she's done for women's MMA, because that fight would not have been such a big deal if it wasn't for Ronda Rousey popularizing women in MMA and making it. So she really did give us the opportunity to watch her finally get beat, and, you know, everybody was happy, but she did a lot for women's MMA.
Yeah, I'm not going to discount that. And Ronda Rousey is a great fighter. I think it's just kind of a combination of either her attitude and her comments that she's made up to. And I get, maybe she's pulling the whole, like, I'm trying to be the bad guy, like, in pro wrestling, but I don't know, man. Kind of makes me wonder some of the shit we've seen, if that's either a facade or it's that's really her, like, just crazy as shit.
Yeah, playing the heel role.
Yeah. Not everybody can be Andre the Giant. Not everybody can be, you know, the Undertaker. Well, the Undertaker's a good guy now. He used to be a bad guy, didn't he?
Yeah. He was a bad guy for a number of years.
Then he became...
Man, we were looking online at work. I mean, we saw a recent picture of the Undertaker, and I mean, musculature has gone down a bit, but he's dang near, like, I think he's in his mid-50s and still doing pro wrestling. I mean, that's got to be crazy hard on your body.
Oh yeah, I bet there
At that age.
I bet there isn't a day that goes by that the Undertaker or Ric Flair or anybody, wakes up and they're like, I probably need to take about 2,000 milligrams of ibuprofen to get out of bed. Then
Yeah.
I also imagine
So he's been around forever.
Yeah, I also imagine Ric Flair gets out of bed and just all day yells "woo" at everything.
Dude, so I haven't seen the Henner Gracie breakdown of the fight yet. Usually he posts that right after.
Yeah, kind of surprised there too. It's we can continue the Henner Gracie hate train, which I'm all about these days. But I know Ronda Rousey's one of.
Give me my ticket.
Yeah, seriously, choo-choo. First, let me get first class, where they serve us the caviar and they give us the fancy crackers, not just the saltines to put it on. But
right?
Yeah, and I'll be up there in my fancy suit and my top hat, and I'm pretty sure you'll be pulling off your most dapper flat cap, and we will ride the Henner Gracie hate train all the way to, I don't know, legitimate black belt land. Well, he is a legitimate black belt, it's just everybody else that it's kind of questionable. I'm going to get shit on
Ronda
the podcast.
Rousey, in that first round was, trying to pull an inverted armbar, and Holly Holm was like, nope.
Yeah, she's like, fuck you, this ain't happening. I saw what happened in the Sarah McMahon fight. This ain't happening. But, I think as the Big Jiu-Jitsu podcast, it is our goal and our mission, in fact, that we need to reach out to Henner and ask him what the Gracie breakdown is of this.
Right. I wonder if he'd respond.
He probably
you should.
I'll do it on the Twitter, and then he'll probably respond back with, "I'm coming to your school to break your arm." I'm like, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Buy your ticket to Germany.
Yeah. Fly out here. Yeah, I'll talk all that shit across the ocean until he shows up. Like, hey, man, I was just joking. I want to see if he'd actually come out. You have all these students here you can do a seminar for.
Right.
Yeah, but
that's the plan.
It is. Actually, is a pretty good plan. You pretty much bait one of these black belts into coming to kick your ass, and then they show up, and I guess it's kind of along the lines of those prank videos, but they're not pranks. They're just like begging to get their asses beat. Like, hey, check out this cool prank. I'm going to steal this guy's cell phone and smash it on the ground. And then when the guy is punching him in the face, he's going, whoa, dude, chill out. It's just a prank. It's just a prank. I think we can do those pranks, and that's how we can get, like, seminars out here.
Were you listening to Joe Rogan's commentary at all?
I was.
And, immediately he's, like, against Ronda Rousey during the fight. When this guy is talking how she's the best athlete of our time. There's a guy I work with that,
Oh, yes.
Constantly.
I already know who you're
like,
talking about.
Yeah, but he's like, how can she be the best athlete when she fights at 135 pounds and, hasn't fought the best,
I mean, he is true. He is right there in that, but
man, his tone changed so fast. And I like Joe Rogan. I like his podcast. I like, what he's done to get the word of jiu-jitsu out there. And
he has done a lot.
But all these people were on the Ronda Rousey train.
Yeah, and he was, dude. I could have sworn that he was like going to ask Ronda to impregnate him, like just off of like all the comments he said. Like, Ronda, I know you've done a lot for the sport, but I'd really like it if you put a baby in me. I'm sure she's like, wouldn't it be like the opposite? Like, no, you can figure out a way because you're the most dominating. And now, yes, I figured the majority of MMA or jiu-jitsu podcasts, media outlets are going to kind of jump on the Holly Holm wagon, which is cool. It's great. I mean, she's a very big class act from what I can tell. But, at the same time, like, you got to be careful not to turn everything into a Ronda Rousey hate train as well. So we can keep it the Henner Gracie hate train. So I guess we'll just jump right back into it because I'm just going to go ahead and put this out here. The Big Jiu-Jitsu show is also brought to you by, what is this? Alkalisk batteries from IKEA. They're really good for recording for 15 minutes at a time. You'd really like to think they could last for more than 15 minutes, but they really fucking don't. And thanks, IKEA. I really do appreciate it. That our recording device died right in the middle of the podcast, but you know what? Who cares? We're going to keep going.
Yeah, with all your Xbox experience, I would have thought you'd known the value of very long-lasting batteries.
You would think that, but I am ashamed. And now our listeners shame. Yes, ring the bell, and now our listeners are going to suffer because of it. Because I was pretty much trying to, for once, and I'm not going to go back to it because it's going to be a one-time occurrence. I said we don't need to jump on the Ronda Rousey hate train. That's it.
So the best thing that I saw about that fight was Holly Holmes' post-fight interview with Daniel Cormier, which I posted on my Facebook page.
Ooh, I need to check that out.
And just being thankful and humble and thanking her team and, saying that, this was a team effort, not just me. I go out there alone, but my team has trained me and I always had confidence in me. Because I would think that would be the toughest thing mentally. So yeah, I really like that.
That is good. That's real good. Like I do need to watch that then because like I said, it's been pretty much a barrage of information about the fight. So, but it's really good that somebody else is kind of getting the attention too. And don't worry, Hannah Gracie, we will reach out to you, and you can hopefully do a Gracie breakdown for us of how Ronda Rousey should have implemented Gracie Jiu-Jitsu a little bit better. So, which brings me to another funny point. So you know how I talked about we had that one guy out here and he teaches Gracie combatives for the combatives course?
Right.
Yeah. So we had this woman come in, and she told us that, like, oh yes, I'm actually a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm like, outstanding, that's great. Let's, will you roll with us? And she's like, well, I just had foot surgery, so I can't. I'm like, fair enough, whatever. So a month goes by, and then she's finally able to come out on the mats, and she looks like pure fucking garbage. Like, I don't think she's really a brown belt. And the fact that she couldn't shrimp kind of gave that away. Or the fact
that that was what the guy that got exposed, like, for being a fake black belt. Like, if you can't do the warm-up exercises or shrimp, or you can tell somebody who's been on the mat for a long time by the way they shrimp. But keep going. Yeah,
no, seriously, I was just kind of like standing there, and I'm gonna keep it real quiet on to who it is because I can just expect to get a phone call like, hey, the first sergeant wants to see you about your podcast. Like, nobody even knew I had a podcast, but at the same time, it was kind of interesting because she was like, oh, yeah, this guy gave me my brown belt, and I sent a message, but I haven't heard anything back. And she just looks terrible. Like, she said, oh, well, we do it this way. I get really confused because I come from a karate background, and, we do it way different in karate. But, I am a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, and I can't even do an armbar. She's like, oh,
So is she going to continue to be your student or continue to come? Or
she's not. Well, she continues to go, and I'm just kind of like, what the fuck ever. And then there's another person there who she helped train, right? So, and then guess who got to roll with that person? This guy. I'll go ahead and tell you. He needs to find somebody else to train under. Just putting that out there. But I don't know. Is jiu-jitsu now becoming kind of like, the 80s and 90s and maybe even the early 2000s where everybody was a black belt in karate or taekwondo or something? Even if they weren't, but everybody claimed it. Like, oh, I've got a black belt. Oh, yeah, I'm a black belt in a martial art you've never even heard of. Do you think jiu-jitsu's gone that way?
Man, I have not seen, like, other than the things that you know about that guy that was wearing a purple belt that wasn't a purple belt that gave it to himself. I mean, we've seen a couple of those.
Yep.
But this is kind of the first time that you've told me that you've experienced something where somebody was given a belt by somebody that maybe has legitimacy.
No.
That gave her the brown belt, or no?
I don't know if he did or not. That's the thing. Like, I messaged him. I haven't heard anything back, but it's just more or less for, like, my own sanity. Like, either I'm like, I should be a black belt by now, which I'm going to go ahead and say that's not the case whatsoever, or she's not really a brown belt. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I haven't seen too many folks get busted out in this community if they say they're a higher level than they are. I mean, even a blue or a purple belt, like you would call it a blue belt generally. That's like a white belt level. You'd be like, you're not a blue belt.
yeah.
Or we'd say something, you know?
Yeah, usually. I mean, and that's the way it needs to be. Like, we police our own, but I mean, there's still always going to be the one person who thinks they can outsmart the system, kind of like stolen valor in the army. Like, really, you're going to go out and you're going to show your ass, and there's always going to be somebody who knows. Like, that guy isn't really, like special forces or whatever. That person is definitely not a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And then we had the guy at the party that Adam Ross, as usual, was not there for. But Adam showed up late or left early. I don't remember. But this guy was like, oh, yeah, hey, I'm a black belt. No, wait, no, let me back that up. I think I told the story before on the podcast. The guy was, his wife was like, oh, well, my husband does jiu-jitsu. He's actually a black belt in jiu-jitsu. And we talk, and he's like, yeah, I got my black belt from Carlson Gracie back in, what was it, like 2012 or something like that. And Carlson Gracie's been passed away way before that, so it's kind of interesting. He doesn't want to do jiu-jitsu anymore because he tore his knee out doing a guillotine choke. Yeah.
Yeah, many knee injuries have occurred doing a guillotine.
A lot of careers have been ended in the guillotine choke. Knees just go out left and right. What type of situation would you have to be in where you're doing a guillotine choke and your knee gets dislocated and you tear everything?
There would have to be somebody else involved.
There would have
to be a third person.
Were you trying to guillotine somebody knee barring you? Is that what really happened? You can tell me the truth. You don't have to be embarrassed by it because it does happen from time to time. But were you trying to guillotine choke a tractor or a combine? I mean, that would happen too, I think. But no, I just find that interesting. I guess maybe this is my little gripe fest for the past week because I didn't get to interview anybody the past couple weeks, which makes me sad, and I'm sure it makes the viewers sad. And the viewers are probably, thankfully, on the other side of the ocean, so they can't come to my house and burn it down because haven't had the chance to interview anybody. Yeah,
so changing gears a second, did you see the thing I posted? What was it, 20 years or 25 years since Royce Gracie in the UFC?
Yeah, I did see that.
Do you know how many years it was? Was it 20?
I want to say it was like 25. Well, it was 95, so maybe 20. Yeah, it was about 20 then.
And it was a picture of a bunch of people playing 50-50 at IBJJF tournament and inverted and stuff like that. And then it had Royce standing up with his fists up, prepared to fight. And it said, what if people saw the way IBJJF is today and didn't see what jiu-jitsu was back then or what the idea of jiu-jitsu was, where would we be?
I think we still have the idea of jiu-jitsu, honestly. So a good way to weed those people out was the last time we talked about when I was reffing the MMA match, and this guy went inverted in an MMA match and proceeded to have his face pushed out the back of his head almost by just staying there. Like, I think there is a difference between jiu-jitsu for MMA and jiu-jitsu for self-defense and then jiu-jitsu for its tournament time.
Yeah, I learned something about inversion that day. Me, you, and Gonzalez went to the gym on post.
Yep.
And I tried to do some inversion, and you just smashed me super hard.
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to.
No, but it happens. Like, it happens when you're in an inverted position. Like, even if your opponent is not maybe going 100% or it's not a street fight, but you're put in a dangerous position when you're inverted and you get hurt, and you can get your face punched in, a number of things. So
Yeah, I mean, jiu-jitsu is always going to be about evolution. There's always going to be a better way to do something. I mean, and I think that's something that's good about this martial art as opposed to, we'll say, like kung fu. There aren't many breakthroughs in kung fu these days, or at least I don't know of any breakthroughs in kung fu these days because, one, I don't do kung fu, and two, when you have an art that I guess either has like set rules for sparring or fighting, there isn't many things that usually come out of it as far as something different. Like, you can only do your, I don't know, tiger claw so many different ways before you run out of things to do. But there's always something new with jiu-jitsu because I'm not trying to, I don't know, there's locks and chokes and sweeps from everywhere, but I can only do a flying mantis kick so many different ways.
right.
I kind of want to do kung fu now, actually. Where's sweet?
Do you have a garage?
I have a basement. Without work,
Yeah, go in the basement.
do kung fu in my basement. Should I just go ahead and just start the Wiesbaden, Germany Kung Fu Society meeting Rob's garage? Pants.
So I saw
optional.
some pictures of your mat space there.
Yeah,
Looks like you got a ton of space.
that. It's actually really really nice where I'm at teaching on base. I have 2 wrestling mats and I have a boxing ring, and that's
Very nice.
That's amazing. But the only other problem is, like, today, I went to the gym to work out, and I walk over to the mats, just kind of like, oh, yeah, these are the mats we use. And you see these, like, dusty shoe prints all over them. And then my inner jiu-jitsu guy just screamed out in pain because he knew that there were shoes on the mat at some point.
Yeah, so I suppose you got to mop them before and after.
Yeah, I'm going to have to show up early or tomorrow, shit. I'm going to have to show up early tomorrow and mop the mats before people show up, and that's cool with me. But life would be a little easier if people would follow the damn rules and not put their shoes on the mat. Or they clean up after themselves. I'm okay with that, too.
Yeah.
People are dirty, man. People are real dirty. Like, MRSA dirty. Like, staph infection dirty. Like, ringworm dirty. Like, you wrestled. Did you ever have the kid that was like, oh, don't worry about ringworm, I have it covered up?
Yeah.
It's not like it's going to not sweat through your clothes, buddy.
Yeah, everybody knew that guy.
Oh, God. Yeah, and then, of course, you had to scrub it off with the green pad, like the green cleaning pad, and then pour a cup of bleach on it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, cap full of bleach to kill it, and then you have this real gnarly ringworm scar before your tournament on Saturday, and you hope the ref doesn't look at it and go, what is that? Is it a ringworm? Like, no, man, it's dead. Look, it's not even, it doesn't even look like it. And then you go like, I miss wrestling and I don't miss wrestling at the same time. I have yet to get, all right, I take that back. I have yet to get another skin infection from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And that was kind of a stupid way for me to get it. So are you familiar with impetigo?
Not really.
Okay, so impetigo is a skin infection, right? It is caused by just being a dirty bastard. And what it is it's like a series of pimples or not really sores, that they ooze when they open up, and wherever they ooze, they spread. And I'm going to get real graphic here real quick, so our listeners are going to be very excited about this story. So I did no-gi jiu-jitsu one night, and this is back in like 2005, 2006. And I had a significant break in between there as well. But so I went home and I was like, dude, I'm, young man, 20-something. I'm tired. I really don't want to, I don't have to shower. I'm just going to sit here. And I fell asleep in my sweaty, nasty underwear and grappling shorts. Right? Wake up. I was like, it's probably time for me to shower before school. Go shower, just hang out for the most of the day. Day or two later, my butt itches. My butt itches real bad, Shawn. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why's my butt itch so bad? I can't look at it. I can't see it. Have you ever tried looking at your own butt? It's very difficult. So I, propped my ass up on the mirror, like, by the bathroom mirror, and I had like these big red like bumps all over my ass, and they're oozing. So I did what any smart person would have done in their early 20s and just ignored it, and it would probably go away.
Oh, I am disgusted.
So fast forward 2 days later, and it's like burning. Like I can't even sit. And I tell my dad. My dad's like, "Boy, pull your pants down." I was like, "Dad, I'm not going to show you my ass." He's like, "Pull your pants down." So I show my ass. Like, "Yep, that's a skin infection. We're going to the doc right now." Early 20s, and now I have to explain to this doctor why I decided to wait like 5 days for like pimples all over, like, impetigo. He's like, "Oh yeah, this is classic impetigo. You didn't take your underwear off. You didn't shower, so that's what you get." So that's why you always shower. You always shower after you roll, or else you're gonna have nasty ass. That's a good story, isn't it?
Well, I think we've all learned a lesson from that story.
Yes. Make sure you wash your ass after you do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Or any exercising for that matter. Now, could you imagine, like, I have real bad impetigo outbreak and just started triangling people and then just spreads so they got ass impetigo on their face?
Man, I feel like this is like an intern-like situation where Matt Miranda would have a comment for this.
Would you guys rather have a hot girl give you impetigo or an ugly? You know what? Last week, though, he did a great job. So I'm very proud of him. He really... I know you're out your family, and I'm sorry you didn't get to experience that, but I was speechless for a couple seconds on some of them. I was like, did you really come up with that? It was amazing. So I think Matt has stepped his big jiu-jitsu internship game up, so I'm still not going to pay the guy. I mean, shit, we don't even get paid for this.
Nah.
We get to treat him like shit. That's really about it.
Yeah, there's no money to be had, and we're gonna treat you like shit.
Yeah.
That was the agreement we had.
I'm pretty sure I put that up on Facebook. I was like, "We will treat you like trash," and he's like, "Okay." Oh, and of course Shawn mentioned him, so I was like, "Shawn says he's good. He's probably good." Then we proceeded to treat him like trash. So the thing is, now he has to come down and visit you since he's in Arizona.
That's right.
It is. Oh, and good news. We actually might go up there to visit him because guess who's coming up there as soon as he gets his orders cut?
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, that's right. I'm
The
coming.
Lord Humongous.
The Lord Humongous returns for probably a month and a half to 2 months. There will be a lot of jiu-jitsu and Fanta drinking while I am there.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that. And of course, my jiu-jitsu club out here is going to suffer. But you know what's really cool? So we had this guy come in, and I asked him, I was like, "Hey, did you have any experience?" He's like, "I have a little, but it's been like 8 years since I've done any jiu-jitsu." I'm like, "Okay, man, whatever." Did the class. This guy is smoking the majority of people he's rolling with, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, "You sure you only have a little experience?" He's like, "Well, I was actually a brown belt." And this was kind of cool to me. He was like, "I was a brown belt, but I've been so far out of it that I'm a white belt again." But yeah, he's like destroying these people. I mean, he's doing shit that I'm like, I don't know, man.
What is he doing?
So somebody tried to ankle lock him, tried to Achilles lock him. He went to 50-50, like almost kind of halfway berimboloed out of it, and then Achilles locked him back. I was like, what the hell?
Man.
Yeah.
Did you roll with him?
No, I didn't get a chance to. I really wanted to. But that's a terrible thing too, man. Like, being the teacher, it sometimes sucks because you're like, I need to roll. They already got somebody. Who's left? I'll take you. Let's go. But I don't know, man. I think it's real easy and to roll as an instructor. Not like easy as in it's easy to beat up your students. But if you're an instructor and you're not rolling with your students, unless you're like injured, there's no excuse, man. None whatsoever. Even doing the
and you had the same experience out there, right?
Yeah.
Initially,
but all things are well now. So I've got a pretty solid group in Kaiserslautern. I got a pretty solid group out in Wiesbaden. Things couldn't be better, man.
bringing jiu-jitsu to Deutschland.
That's right. And it's kind of surprising how new it is out here too. As, like comparatively speaking, so it's almost like the East Coast all over again, where you got like blue belts running clubs, and purple belts are still considered the made men, but
Yeah, that's cool.
there are not many of them. So, got to step it up. Got to really step it up. Your food, you're shaming, you fat shamed me, and it helped out. So,
Nice. So my only goal when I fat shame you is to get you working.
When you were like, I just give up on you, I was like, Jesus, oh my God. Shawn's never said that to me. I'm like, I need to make a change. So there was even like, this is how I know I'm actually doing pretty good, because one of the guys I work with, he was like, hey, I was wondering, do you want to go get Chinese food tonight? Like, we're all thinking about going and getting Chinese food. And I'm like, I really shouldn't. I'm sorry. I turned down Chinese food, Shawn. A Chinese
That's the
buffet.
right answer.
That is the right answer. And I look good. Not really. It's only been a couple weeks, but I feel better already. But, dude, I tell you what, I could kill some General Tso's chicken right now if you just set it down in front of me. Life would be good. But that's not the right answer, is it, Shawn?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put it in front of you.
No. Well, I know you
I'd put a
would.
salad in front of you.
That's right, because you respect me and I respect you, and you take care of it. You know what to say. You didn't fat shame me. You're just like, I'm done with you. I've done all I can. It's up to you now, and you're not going to do it. And I was like, I got to do it. I got to do it this time. So see if we keep this pain train rolling. We'll keep the Henner Gracie hate and the Lord Humongous not fatness food shaming train going. Next stop, super heavyweight.
Yeah.
That actually would be a
Well,
pretty-
the thing at your size, I mean, even if you lost, like, it's for you. Like, it's not to make a weight class, because based on your height and body build, like, just like, what God gave you, you're not going to be at below 222. I mean, you would be very, very skinny. So, I mean, that's what makes it even harder. You don't have a goal to get to this for a different weight class, because you would be emaciated to be at that.
Would I look really good, though? That's the question.
Right.
Would I look good?
Probably.
You think 222? I'd look shredded?
Oh, man. Man, I don't even want to think about that. You look so good.
Beach season is coming up in like 7 months. But whatever, I can get ready now. Why not? I want to get more tattoos. I want to cut my hair into a mohawk, and I don't know, man. I think I should just embrace your generic white belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've done Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for X, Y, and Z amount of time, and there you go. You know the types of guys I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I saw The Ultimate Fighter once, and I'm going to go ahead and get a mohawk and wear nothing but tap-out clothes, and pretty sure I can make The Ultimate Fighter. I just have no fights under my belt. Yeah, those guys. But, yeah, we'll see how that goes. So, how's the hip recovery going?
Oh, well, I still got some time, man. So that's all I know.
Yeah, well, you're going to kick its ass, man. Like, that's the thing. Like I said before, it's just such a short period in the long run of jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
I think it'll make you better, honestly. Like, I think
I'm going on 5 weeks now, so it's still going to be probably a couple months till I'm back on the mats.
Yeah, I think it'll make you better, though. Not in like some weird, like, you'll really learn a lesson. Like, it just does. It's weird how that is. Like, now you got to worry. Like, you're going to baby it. Even though it's going to be 100%, you're still going to be like, shit, I can't do that because my hip might break again or whatever. But it's going to change your game up, and it might change it up for the better, which I think is cool. So,
Yep.
So, yeah, that's it. That's really it for this week. I think we've hit all the points we wanted to. And on that note, with Shawn's positivity and going forth and lifting and shooting things, I saw you and Gonzalez out there shooting. Was that right?
Yeah, indeed.
What a slack ass. Tell him to go back to jiu-jitsu instead of talking shit.
He's talking about it.
Oh yeah,
But now he says once you go back, I might start going back again.
Yeah,
So.
we'll see. We'll see. We all know those guys. Like, I'm very serious about getting into jiu-jitsu, and then you don't see them for months on end. I actually talked about that today, but so don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, go to bigjujitsu.com. It's a webpage. It's a webpage about Big Jiu-Jitsu, and there's a link on it, and that link goes to our store. And believe it or not, we still have black T-shirts, and you guys need those black T-shirts. Support the podcast. That's pretty much why we have them. So, unfortunately, I have to pay money to host the podcast. I'm not going to be lame and put up some Patreon where you give me money for nothing every month. I think that's kind of bullshit, honestly. Might as well be. Do you want to be an internet panhandler, Shawn?
Negative.
No, me either.
I do not.
There will never be a Big Jiu-Jitsu GoFundMe. There will never be a Big Jiu-Jitsu Patreon. Any of that bullshit. That's why we need, if you guys want to buy shirts, we'll provide you shirts. And that's okay if you don't. We'll still be here. But that's what it goes to. It really goes to the care and upkeep of the Big Jiu-Jitsu webpage, our hosting, and sending Shawn to jiu-jitsu tournaments where he can, smash people. Where he can be the Duke Humongous.
That's right.
That's how it rolls.
That's right.
Because Fanta sure as hell ain't returning our calls for sponsorship these days. But and speaking of sponsorships, so I forgot to mention the past couple podcasts, and this is my bad as well. Don't forget to go to combativesgear.com to get all of your combatives gear for jiu-jitsu, MMA, boxing, kickboxing, and use promo code BigJujitsuShow for 10% off. And you get some really sweet shirts there, especially if you're military. I got my jiu-jitsu shirt that looks like a tab. So I can be like a long tabber? Yeah, except it says jiu-jitsu, not special forces. Because I'm not stolen valor. I don't steal valor. I'll steal.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm a legit jiu-jitsu guy. There you go. So, once again, I'm Rob the Lord Humongous.
And I'm Shawn the Duke Humongous.
And we'll catch you all next week.